Hello, Eagle Nation. I'm Katie Tolbert.
And I'm Shaquem Holloway.
And this is Sports Talk with the George Ann. So this week was a bye week for the GSU football team. So sadly, we don't have a game to review, but we can still go over the upcoming game this Saturday. The Eagles are back home at Paulson to face off against the University of Tennessee at Chattanooga in their first home conference game.
UTC's record of 2-1 sort of mirrors GSU's 2-1 record, but both teams have 2 blowout wins on their resume and a 10-point loss. However, it's UTC who's coming into this game on a 2-game win streak. The Mocs match up well with the Eagles in pretty much every statistical category. The Eagles are first in scoring offense, but the Mocs are right behind, ranking second in scoring offense. Conversely, the Mocs are first in scoring defense, and the Eagles are second in scoring defense. And GSU and UTC rank in the top 3 in 10 statistical categories.
I think this game is going to be an interesting one to watch. Both of these teams are currently 2-1 coming into this game. Although I do think the Eagles have a few advantages that the Mocs don't have. Well, for starters, GSU had 2 weeks to catch up on rest, practice, and their full ability to strategize a game plan. And of course, Monken probably has told his players after a conference loss on the road, there is no option but to win, coming back home for their second conference game of the season.
The Eagles' backfield is really dinged up right now with Swope, Banks, Yute, and Huggins nursing injuries. The Eagles will also be without recently suspended running back Torrance Hunt, who had recorded a touchdown in every game this season. Under those circumstances, the Eagles may struggle to put points up, but I doubt it. The Eagles have extreme depth at running back. What I do question, however, is the ability of the Eagles' run defense to stop their scoring and run offense. If Coach Monken has fixed the holes in that front seven, the Eagles have a good chance to win this game. If GSU plays well on defense and Swope and company can put up at least 20 points on the Mocs, I see the Eagles winning 21-17.
Well, hopefully they can pull out a win. But I'll tell you who has been doing nothing but winning, and that's the volleyball team. After sweeping the Georgia Southern volleyball tournament, the Eagles didn't stop and swept another home volleyball tournament, the Bash in the Borough, defeating opponents Central Michigan, Jackson State University, and Charleston Southern University, allowing no games won out of every single match. This is even more impressive to think that not only were these games in the same weekend, but the last 2 games were within hours of each other. The endurance of this team, I feel, is endless. Shaquem, tell us what you thought of the Jackson State game.
Well, that was a good game to watch if you're an Eagles fan. GSU completely dominated that game, winning in straight sets. Christina Varel, who usually doesn't start, she played well in hopes of earning a starting spot on the team. She tallied a game-high 15 kills. She had some tough competition with Jamie Durant and Nicole Justelnik, but she definitely won't make it easier on either of them. Christina says that competition at outside hitter makes all of them better, and at the end of the day, that's the goal. I asked her and Coach Wood about the game plan going in, and they both echoed the same sentiment, which was to be very aggressive. Coach tells me that has been their motto all season, and obviously it's working.
I just love to see players on the court who are so willing to dive after every ball, no matter how hard the kill is. These Eagles on defense are so resilient when it comes to those crucial volleys that are ultimately game winners. Defensive specialist Alexander Beecher already has 196 digs, 30 of which were this weekend.
Let's not forget the excellent performance of Katie Bange, who was named tournament MVP. She posted 21 total kills in the tournament. Also, Jamie Durant put up a career high in kills with 20 in the final match of the tournament against Charleston Southern. Though she did have 5 errors and she'll need to cut down on that, I'm sure Coach will take it with all those kills she put up.
With 4 straight home games to come, I'm sure we will see a lot more wins coming from this Eagle team. And with that, we'll be right back after a commercial provided by a student organization. soccer team lost this past weekend to Mercer University 2-3. And that's an unfortunate loss for the Eagles. But the real story here is about how they had a different goalie for that game.
Unfortunately, the usual goalie for the Eagles, Heather Kirkover, was injured and could not play against Mercer. The Eagles were forced to rely on midfielder Alana Rudd, who hasn't played goalie since high school. Rudd actually held her own, going for 11 saves, posting a save percentage of .786. The defense did its best to help her out, but the Eagles couldn't get the win as they allowed 3 goals in that 3-2 loss.
I just could not believe how amazing that is, how she stepped up to the plate and performed the way she did. So I had to talk to her about it myself. We're here with senior midfielder Alana Rudd, and we're here to talk about how she had her first appearance as goalie against Mercer. So what exactly made you want to step up and say, I will be the goalie for this game?
Well, that morning we had only just found out that we didn't have a goalkeeper for the game, and Brian brought the team together and said, would anyone like to stand up and say that they'll do it? And me and Emily Hirano both offered, and so we both warmed up, and then they asked me to start, and that's how it happened, really.
Did you volunteer because you had previous experience or because you're a senior and you felt like it was your duty?
I think being a senior had something to do with it, but for my old club team a few years ago, we were in the same situation where the keepers were injured, so I stepped up then too. I did okay, so...
Yeah, I mean, it was your first appearance and you tallied 11 saves. How do you feel about that performance?
Yeah, I'm quite happy about it. Obviously, I was just trying to do everything I could to try and get a result for the team, which unfortunately didn't happen, but yeah, I just tried my best.
So I'm assuming that you're returning to your old position. Did you miss it, or did you kind of think it was fun playing goalie?
It was fun for a different experience. Right now we're waiting to see if we have a goalkeeper back this weekend, so there's a chance that I may have to play again this weekend, but we'll wait and see, I guess.
If you do have to return to goal, are you going to be missing that field action, or?
It's always disappointing, obviously, not being able to play my natural position, but I'll happily offer again. Step up into it.
Well, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
She stepped up in a pivotal time for her team, and I think she did well, considering that she hadn't played all season, nor had she played goalie in a vast amount of years.
The men's soccer team didn't have a pregame as exciting, but they did pull out a win against Presbyterian College on Tuesday night, which was Military Appreciation Night, and they won with a double overtime goal from senior Hunter Norton. I'll tell you one thing about this game. I have never heard so many whistles in a soccer game. Both of the teams together tallied up 18 fouls. I think this came from the midfield defense from both of the teams.
It was a very physical game, and as you said, the refs called a lot of fouls. But the Eagles were used to physical play, and they were able to pull out a win in double overtime with little time to spare, exactly 1 minute and 56 seconds to be exact. Though it was a hard-fought win, Coach Kennedy told GSEagles.com that he believed the Eagles made it harder on themselves, and that he added that he wants his team to put in more effort. The Eagles have now won 2 games in a row before conference play begins on Sunday.
It was an excellent win for this Eagle team. I'm glad we got some footage for it.
Now in for Presbyterian, number 20.
Eagles play Davidson on Sunday, and the two have similar anemic offensive statistics, as Davidson is tied for 4th in goals, while GSU is right below at the 6th spot. The Wildcats have 12 goals on the season, while the Eagles only have 11.
This should be a tight matchup, and I'm interested to see how this team is going to continue to grow throughout the season.